Yeah, man, it is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. I'm Pacou Mutombo doing and that's Confi'Dance on that, man. The show that brings you people you need to know when you need to know. And right now, we got the one, the only, Paul Luthando. What's going on?
What's good, bro? Good, dog. I'm using yourself.
That's what it deals, man. That's what it deals, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Always.
Keep forgetting every time.
Always.
We used to go out to clubs. That's what we did. You know, do you remember how people used to look at us and think like, yes, what are these guys doing? Yeah. And until we start doing this, like, oh. But anyway, how you doing? You good?
I'm great, man. Can't complain whatsoever. Blessed.
For people who don't know who you are, man, in a nutshell, who is Paul Luthando, man?
Paul Luthando Ngambule, dancer from Kagiso. And yeah, that's why we're here, right? So you're gonna ask more questions about me so people know. So I can't really give you guys my whole bio.
Okay, cool. Talking about bios, a lot of things have changed from back in the cut because I mean, obviously you went from just being a dancer in J from a crew called Class 91.
Clash, but that was like Clash 91 into Artistic Intelligence. It was still the same crew. Just changed the name.
That's what's up. And then from there to obviously being a person who obviously started krumping. He doesn't like taking the fact that he used to krump. Until today, I still think he's one of the best krumpers, man. Because
I don't like that part.
It's my favorite move, dog. I still use it today. But anyway, yeah, man. And now obviously you not stepping away from the dancing per se, but more on being on the digital side, which we're going to get into later on. Right. But truth be told, how has dancing been for you up till now?
It's been amazing, you know. Obviously in anything, everything has its ups and downs.
Truth.
But just in retrospect, like looking at where it's taken me and the places I've seen, the people I've met.
By places, do you mean by traveling?
Yeah, just traveling and traveling mostly, and also just the people I've seen. You know, if it wasn't for dancing, I wouldn't have known you. You know what I'm saying? So it's been great. You know, obviously in every dance or in any industry or sports or culture, there's those moments there and there. I'm that.
I must say now, because I remember I was coming out of Boston media. And then I was going to Dance Web at the time because I was, I was teaching there, and I just see this guy running, running down the road, dog. And I walk out and I just see this guy, talk.
Oh wow, you're so observant.
I have to be, bro. I gotta be ninja mode all the time, man. And I just saw the uniform you're wearing, and I could just tell, like, nah, this guy's not from here, bro. These guys come from fat. Until I found out where you were from, I was like, yo, this guy loves to dance, bro. You come from there? Yes! But looking at that, how do you think you've grown to the maturity, or should I say to the peak of your ability to dance? Or do you think it's something that, you know what, I have to be an adult now, I need to focus on certain things?
Not even. I think the nice thing about dancing, it's not like, I'm assuming, it's not like soccer where like at 30 something you feel like, okay, I can't, these new guys, and you know, I mean, look at popping, how old is Popping Pete? Like,
you're like in his late 50s or if not early 60s.
You're still dancing.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so I think maybe the competitive side of things.
Yeah, okay.
For me, it's kind of off season now.
Okay.
You know, and but I think I will maybe go back into it, but I haven't reached my
of course not.
Yeah, we're very competitive.
Dude,
so
I know you.
As long as there's a person or another guy that's like, I'm better than you, man.
I'm glad you said that, man, because I'm gonna bring the time when you guys used to crop, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, there was this guy from 300 called Zuko, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, not Zuko.
Not Zuko.
Zippo.
Yeah. Zippo, yeah.
Zippo, not Zuko.
No, Zuko, no. Yeah. What?
Not Zuko. It wasn't Zuko.
It's what?
Zippo.
Zippo, right? Yeah, from 300. Yeah.
Is it?
It was so long ago, man, when you guys had that battle, bro.
Yes.
Tell me about that, dude.
Yes. So 300 was a crump crew. During that time, there were not so many crump crews. Crumping, it just kind of like started out.
Yeah.
So we, the guys, we tried it out. We fell in love with it.
Hard.
Yeah, you know, and so there were not so many. So these guys, 300, they're very competitive, you know, but we were all boys. We're like cool with each other because those guys went to the same high school that Dareem went to. Dareem is a guy that started AI with me.
Oh, okay.
My best homie as well.
Yeah.
So they went to the same high school, but they would like always tune him in high school and be like, yeah, where's your crew? Where's your whatnot? And they were just those guys. They were like, they would call you out. You know?
Oh yeah?
They'd be like,
so they were like proper.
Yeah, one time they sent a video of us. They were at a braai. They sent a video of us, and like the braai was starting, and they just put like I think it was petrol or paraffin. And yeah, this is what we're gonna do to AI. You know, and you know the time of during the MMS.
Oh yes.
And multimedia message or whatnot, and they said that, and Dareem was like, "Yeah, these guys said this to us." We were like, "Oh, what?" And then once they came through. On a random day, we had studio, they came through at a random day.
Oh yeah?
And one of the guys like, yeah, we're here, so let's, you know. But it was more, I think it was Dareem and that guy had like a thing, and it was like, yeah, let's get it. There was something happening, we were rehearsing at that time, and downstairs there used to be a workshop, a garage for cars.
Yeah.
So the studio was being used, the rehearsal space was being used. We went downstairs. It wasn't being used. We asked the owner if we could use it to battle. No camera, no footage or whatnot. Just we need a space. Yes. I was like, yeah, do your thing. And it happened there. So
is that how real and raw it was?
Yeah, there was another crew. They were not the first. There was another crew that stayed in Parkmore, right? That called us out, and we showed up at their house. I swear to God.
No way.
We showed out at the house, and we were like, okay, yeah, cool, we're here. Let's do it. And fortunately enough, like that, it wasn't like there wasn't an exchange like money.
No.
They had like a chillers, and there was like a bunch of girls there, and we disrespected them in front of their girls. dance wise. But but yeah, I think that was the beauty of it, because it was a thing about respect. Like you know, we walked to their place and we were like, yeah, we're here, you know, and we showed up. And
it's so cool because it reminds me of those movies, and you really think, oh, they're being extra, in the sense that a guy would walk a mile just to meet some other guy because they heard how good his kung fu is. And just stand there, whoever flinches, you know what I'm saying? Listening to what you just say now, that these guys and you walked to their place and you're like, yo, dog, I heard, dog, so we here, let's go. Didn't they turn you around and saying like, yo, dude, no, next time or whatever?
No, I mean, because they had initiated.
Oh, I see.
So I don't think they're like, okay, these guys are actually going to pull through. So I mean, it happened even in sport, like it used to happen back in the cup, where guys would be like, okay, these guys from this township are going to go to Extension 4 because you know we want to rep our hood, like you know. So
do you think that's where Rep Your Hood came from?
Nah, I don't know. No? I mean, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So where to from here in terms of dancing for you?
For me, dancing is a thing that I enjoy, and I want to keep it there. I don't want to make it a money thing.
Any particular reason?
Because I really enjoy it. I think dancing for me started becoming a thing where I got dictated by making money from it. So in order to pay bills and do certain things, so it wasn't a thing that I personally started enjoying, and I'm still trying to figure my way out around the whole situation. And also I got a big scare, man. Sipo, he tore not his ACL, but his Achilles.
Yeah, dude.
And he was out. So I was like, okay, man. If I was in that situation, you know, I don't have any medical aid. Dancers, very important.
Very important. Not everybody's Beckham.
Not even medical aid. Like get like a hospital plan or something. So homie was out for a good like
close to a year.
So the good like 12 months. You know, so he was out. So in my head, I was like, if I was in that situation, where would I be getting my, you know, my income from? Where would I be paying? So certain things changed because I just felt that I wasn't being paid enough for my craft.
I see what you're saying.
In certain areas. So, but I still am dancing. Right now I'm in the phase where I'm trying to figure out, or not necessarily trying to figure out, but how can I be in dancing forever without dancing?
Oh, so, is that why you created African Cypher? Because that thing was just, man, it was the best concept ever, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why you stopped. I just don't know. Why did you stop, man?
So African Cypher was just like a small project, and it wasn't based off that, what we're just talking about. I just felt like we needed something new in the scene, within the community.
Which worked.
Big time. Yeah, just in context for people that don't know what African Cypher is. African Cypher was like a weekend event where we would move to different venues every day, and it was battles and competition, and also like learning about the history and learning about who came before us in terms of in this dance, within this culture. So also the way we did like pre-selections for the battles was different.
Oh, that was the best.
So what we did during that time is that we had like a party, and then there were cyphers going on, and then the judges would walk around randomly picking people. But people would.
Did they know who the judges were? Was it just?
I'm not too sure. They didn't know. They didn't know who the judges were. Yeah. They didn't know who the judges were.
You didn't.
But we had told everyone that okay, the party starts from this time to this time. But the selections will be happening around this hour or this time. So so you can just dance whatever, and you can go in. It doesn't matter how many times you go in the cypher. It's just different cyphers that are happening. So we're trying something different,
And it worked out, man. I mean, I like the touch of the party, because you even had like not billboards, but boards to
like an exhibition.
To commemorate the people who have the
soldiers
fallen. The soldiers fallen.
Fallen soldiers.
Fallen, yes.
The soldiers fallen.
Fallen soldiers, man. You know what I'm saying? And I really felt that was a good touch, because to the people, like you said, like it or not, everybody just needs a mentor. Now, knowing where hip hop, or should I say just dance, is now in South Africa, and seeing where it started, it will just give you a sense of not ownership, but like of belonging.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Because you're like,
we are a community at the end of the day.
That's it.
Right? So we kind of have to treat each other like we're a community. So if someone has like passed away, we need to remember them somehow. And not just that one day of like, okay, we go into the funeral or whatever, but because we're a community, let what you put out in the scene, a community, be celebrated. And we need to create legacy somehow, and we need to foster that sort of thing within our community first. I'm not saying no one else must come, but we kind of need to start loving each other first before.
That's true. Do you think there's enough love in this dance industry?
I think in the dance industry, or because for me, industry scene is totally
either way,
kind of like separate for me. So which one are you asking in general?
No, you can answer both. It's cool.
So dance industry, like any other industry, for me, when you start mentioning industry, it's business.
Truth.
All right. So is there love in the music industry? Is there love in the film industry? So I don't know, I'll leave that. But in the scene, I think there is, in a way, I think we're just being too hard on ourselves. Everyone is what's that saying? Hurt people hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So everyone
hurt people.
Yeah, everyone is affected in some sort of way.
True.
Especially with this pandemic. Everyone, majority. I mean, let's tell the truth, man. Like, not everyone is really coining it in the dance. There's the people that are coining it and whatnot, but the majority of people, we compared to the other industries, in a way, we're still broke. Like, so. But then again, like, yeah, man, so there is love, but let's not be hard on each other.
Do you think? Sorry to cut you, but I don't want to lose this, because you're going in the direction I want you to go. Do you think with being hard on each other in the sense that, you know what, you get, because now we're in a position where there's gig dancers and then there's dancers who are for the community and for the competitions, and it looks like the guys who are dancing in the gig dancers are not for the community and the competitions because they're trying to exclude themselves from it because they're dancing with big names in the industry in terms of musically. So they're thinking, okay, cool, I come from there, so I don't need to go back there. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think there's a tug of war in that?
There's a tug of war between the
love in people saying that, you know what, there's not enough love because instead of pulling together, instead of being a train, having like, let's say for instance, a locomotive pulling towards somewhere where opportunities can be created for a competition, or the community side can be looked at as a place to look into and seeing who's coming up. But there's a detachment where you come out of there, go under, you go in subways, come out there, and then when you get out of here, you just carry on, because there are some people who say, the people who the gig dancers, don't necessarily look back or try and do anything for where they come from. Do you know what I'm saying? So do you think that's where you're saying that the love is not like, is there and not really there?
It's tricky because, okay, for me, it's not tricky because I feel like I have an understanding of it.
You were there.
So I'll give you an example. Like, who's these guys, the Dikoloshi gang? Well, they call themselves Dikoloshi gang. So it's his finest.
Yeah, so it's his finest.
Bro, I've got love for those guys, but we don't see each other. You know what I'm saying? I remember passing by the studios in Newtown, and speaking to Tom London.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was speaking to him, and you know, we spoke for hours, and I genuinely have love. I love what they're doing, as much as I am not like, you know, on socials and all of that, and like, you know, saying, but I've got love for them, you know. But I think, coming back to your question, hopefully I'll answer your question, is that I can't judge you as a corporate dancer. You know, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know who you have to support. So for you and I don't know where your mental, you are. So for me to expect you to come through to every little cypher or session where you have other things, I can't expect, you know, not everyone is built like that. I can't expect, I'll make an example. I can't expect Courtney Paul, the B-girl, to be at every single cypher. You know, she's at a certain place in her life where she, you know, she's opening doors in for all of us in a certain. Yes, people have their whatever, but she's kind of like created, like, there's a girl out there that's like, oh, okay. Even a guy that's like, I can also do it. Like, you know, it's possible. So we're being too hard on ourselves.
There you go.
And the one thing I don't really necessarily like about, before that, back in the cut, a lot of agencies used to hire dance crews.
Very true.
All right. So there wasn't a lot of things of auditions and all of that. So I think it started changing when agencies went through, so that it was like, so you've left the scene, where it's not necessarily left the scene, it's that on the top structure, things have kind of changed in a way. You know, I know we used to do a lot of gigs. We never used to have to go to auditions.
Auditions, no.
You know, and I'm assuming there's other dance crews as well.
Yeah.
Because they've seen you perform, they were like, I want those guys.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I want those guys because they have something about them. So there was auditions, like, you know, we went to a couple, but we're like, why do I have to kind of be here? You know, so I hope that answers your questions.
No, it does.
And thirdly on that is that we need to, and this is for me the thing I have with the dance industry per se, or the dance community.
Well, sorry to cut you, will that go into what you would want to change for, like, if you had a chance to change the one thing in the dance industry, What would it be? Not even.
So
Okay.
that's bigger than me. Like
Okay.
I choose my battles wisely in certain things, and for me that it's not something that one person can change. At the end of the day, it has to happen collectively. So, and I think that's one thing I would say I disagree with the dance industry or whatnot, is that we need to become a family more. You know what I'm saying? Because when that happens, then I know I know why. Okay, if Pacou can't make it here, I don't create these, situations in my head like, oh, Pacou's not supporting because he's whatnot. We don't know what Pacou's going through. But if I was in your shoes and I had empathy and not sympathy, and I was like, okay, Pacou's my boy, and yo, what's happening? Then I would know why you can't be there. And obviously there are the ones that culture vultures that take from that take and don't give.
Yep.
There are those in any other culture. Yeah. But yeah. Sorry, I hope that answers.
No, it did. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to pick up on what you said. So do you really think that if anything needed to change, it had to happen organically? Someone can't just stand there, because I know what you mean in the sense that if you were to tell somebody, okay, cool, dude, I'm going to change this in the dance industry, and then you, that person who solely stands there and just tries to change something, you become that person that everybody's like, there's Paul again, he's going to talk about the same thing. But tying it with what you're saying in terms of the fact of family, starting with family and actually leading up to...
Or not even family, like change it within yourself.
What do you mean?
Like, you know that saying, if you want to change something, change it. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's super hard, right? It's super hard. You'll be like, no, dancers need to charge this X amount.
Yeah.
You need to charge this X amount. And then a gig comes, which is like a few notches down, and they're like, yeah, man. And it's rough that time, it's hard. And you've been telling people, oh, you need to charge X amount. And then that happens. Oh, snap, my mic.
It's cool, dog.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then that happens.
Yeah. Your mic just drops, and then you bring it back, and you start keep talking.
And that happens. And then you're like, you need to charge X amount. And then when that happens to you, and you're like, you know what, it's hard, it's been hard, let me take that.
Yeah.
But you forget about what you've been preaching about. So that's why I always say, like, if you want to change something, people have been saying that. If you want to change something, change it within yourself first, and then you'll know if you're up for changing it within the community.
All right. No, that's really true. I'll take that. So with that being said, what's in it for Paul for the rest of the year or the upcoming years? What can we expect from you?
Well, I don't know when this is going to be published, so I can't really say when. But
okay.
I think everyone, just like everyone's, we're in a very, in the world, just in general, outside of dancing, we're in a tricky place, man.
Yeah.
With the pandemic, a lot of stuff happening, So for me, this time has just taught me, like, be with the close ones, and just appreciate their time. Like, really, you hustle so much and you're away from home and you're on it. Not forgetting maybe like your parents or the people or your kids just want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And you're trying so hard. You're like, I want to get my child this. I need to do this. I need to get my mom a house. I need to do this. But all they just want is your time, your presence. So for me, this year, I'm taking that, like, hey man, like full on. And it's a marathon at the end of the day. It's not a sprint. That. So for me, this is my off 2 months.
Okay.
Planning, doing a couple of things behind the scenes. And just,
forward. All right, that's what it is, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. So, Paul, how can people get hold of you, man, if they want to get in touch? Because you are definitely someone they need to know.
Well, so email hello@paulluthando.co.za. That's my email. On socials, at Paul Luthando, Instagram, and then Paul Luthando on Facebook.
And good luck if you're gonna get hold of this guy, because this guy's too busy, bro.
No, I'm not. Call me up. A project or anything, call me up. Let's make it happen.
That's what it is. All right, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. I'm Pacou Mutombo doing and that's facts on that, man. This is Confi'Dance, giving you people you need to know when you need to know. Thank you very much, homie, man.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm talking about?
Thank you.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, you sing proper now,
Oh,
man.
snap. Okay.
Hey.
That's what
Outta
the handshake
here,
is
Jay.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.